I hear more melodies, more singing, more soulfulness, more like a little slowed down, and where people can I don't know, just appreciate it a little more. Not that you can appreciate what they did, because I love this stuff. That's some of my favorite stuff, is what they did on the earlier records. But I hear it just being more focused, them sort of collaborating more as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to evolve with time, which I think is terrific. I think, you know, if you're going to be a leading edge artist, which obviously they are, you have to keep fresh, and they're very good at that.
They're still, and I hate to use a cliche, they're still one of the funkiest bands out there in a way that's very kind of approachable. You know, it's easy to kind of forget about it, but on occasions if I go to a club and I hear their stuff being played very loud on a very good system, you can really appreciate just how heavy and funky those grooves are, you know, and just how well Flea and Chad Smith play them.
There's good stuff on their first records, but I don't think it appeals to as great an audience as I think their music now appeals to, like, you know, when they did like Under the Bridge, that appealed to kids, to grandmas. That was like a big pop song. They didn't even know they had it in them. But I just think that's like the evolution of like growing up, and it shows in their music.
Part of the reason they have developed such a wide fan base must be down to a youthful-looking appearance that directly contradicts their hedonistic beginnings.
At this point in their lives, you know, they're all pretty healthy guys. None of them drink, none of them use drugs. They're all into like meditation and yoga and eating healthy. They travel with their own cook who, you know, makes special dietary meals for them, and they exercise and they take good care of themselves on all levels, spiritually, mentally, and physically.
I think clearly the lifestyles that they're living right now are much more under control than they were a couple of years ago. I think that all of them have learned from whatever detours they've made in their, you know, in their, not their career, but in their personal lives, through partying or whatever other things they got involved with over the years. I think they learned that when they were younger, that, you know, you can't continue down that path for very long because there's only one end to that road. And I think they've decided that, you know, if we're going to be here and if we want to make a contribution in this life, that we've got to readjust our priorities as far as our lifestyles go.
I think at some point in our days, we like, on a backpack trip or something like that, maybe there was a creek or whatever that we all drank out of. Because for some reason, our little crew is really well preserved. And it's just not, it's not from clean living, I can tell you that much. Although, you know, we've all grown out of that, which, you know, thank God, you know, none of us are, you know, abusing ourselves anymore, which is one of the great miracles of sticking around, to see everyone like get healthy.
The Chili Peppers have proved one of the most enduring bands in the business. They still live up to their reputation as a live outfit not to be messed with, and have lost none of their looks, charisma or energy. But will they still be rocking out venues in their 50s? Or is a calmer future inevitable?
They're true artists in the sense that I don't think that they choose to do what they're doing. I think that they all recognize that they have to do what they're doing because that's what they're here for.
You know, I don't know how long it'll go on. Probably as long as they feel comfortable doing it. You know, because there's, when you get to be as big as they are, there's just pressures that you never thought about. You know, because back in our days, like, man, if I was ever on a major label, I would never have another problem as long as I lived.
You know, I'll tell you, the camaraderie has made them stay together, their brotherhood, and the fact that they kind of came up together.
I know the touring part gets harder and harder, because, you know, that's not a great life. It's okay when you're a kid, you know, and you're just stumbling through it and getting drunk and trying to pick up on chicks, but, you know, a person likes to, like, sleep in their bed.
I mean, I'm sure in '88, no one said, oh yeah, in 2003, when they're thinking about putting out a greatest hits, you know, that people would have thought, you're crazy, you know, they're a rock band, they're crazy, there's no way, they can't last, and, you know, they're as strong now as ever. So I don't see any reason why they wouldn't keep going.
That's an interesting question with the Chili Peppers. I mean, who'd have thought they'd be doing it when they're, I guess, 40, some of them. I know Frusciante's a lot younger. And their persona and performance does depend a lot on energy. But then so does Aerosmith's, you know? And there's a guy who'll still wipe the floor with most 18-year-olds, you know? So it wouldn't surprise me if the Chili Peppers have another 5 or 6 years.
I don't know. I honestly, you know, when I think of bands, kind of rock bands kind of performing and really pushing the envelope, I mean, everyone thinks of the Rolling Stones, who are all, I think they're all 60 and over now, you know, and, you know, honestly, I don't know if that's the kind of thing that the Chili Peppers are going to want to do. I'm sure if they want to go down that road, they will. I have no idea what their plans are for the future. For right now, they're together. I'm sure they'll do another record together. I don't know, you know, if they'll be around for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know.
Those guys are a great band, and thankfully they stuck around long enough to become a really important band. They're just getting better. This is the best they've ever been.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers have shown a staying power that leaves other bands in the dust. 20 years after their first gig, they are still going from strength to strength. Long may it continue.